Hello traders and welcome to the Bitcoin Trading Challenge. So today's video is going to be a little bit more unorthodox. What we're going to be doing today is we will be using Google Trends to assess market psychology so that we can trade against the mass market and make the most amount of profit. So for those who don't know what Google Trends is, it's a free online software that you can use that tracks all Google searches of any topic that you want in any country and in any time period. And as day traders and swing traders and potential investors, what you want to look at is what are a lot of people searching? Because if you want to find when everyone's bought or when everyone's sold, a very good indicator of that would be Google searches. And that's why I'm using Bitcoin bubble as my search term for Google Trends. When many people search this, typically that means they've already sold or they are about to sell. And if everyone sold something, the price can't go any lower because there are no future sellers. Same happens if everyone bought something. If everyone buys something, then the market actually cannot go any higher without any new buyers, meaning the market must go down. So what we want to look for is a spike in Bitcoin bubble search terms. And what this would lead to is showing us that a lot of people probably just sold, and then we want to buy when everyone is panicking. Because that's honestly where the best trades come out. If you look at past news, if you look at past markets, usually the best time to buy looks like the worst time when you're actually in it. And that's just how the market is. So without further ado, let's look at what the highest value on here was. We see that September 14th had the highest amount of Google searches for Bitcoin bubble. If we look here, this is what happened September 14th. Price makes a lower low, down to about 3K, and then rebounds from much higher gain on very good volume. Now, if you had seen this and seen that everyone was searching Bitcoin bubble these 2 days, then you would have, as a savvy contrarian investor, you would have seen that this would be a fantastic buying opportunity when you see this. Even though this looks like the market's falling apart, it really looks terrible here. But if you had just seen that many people were searching Bitcoin bubble and that many people had already sold, you would notice that this is probably an oversold point. And you could have bought and had a massive profit. And we can also go a little bit more long term to see more examples, just to see how the market lines up with Google Trends. If we look at some of these here, an important one we can see is September 1st. And that's when many people were searching Bitcoin bubble. Now, if we look at what happened September 1st, that is the beginning of the downtrend, which is very interesting. You might think, wait, if everyone's searching Bitcoin bubble, doesn't that mean that the market has to go up? Well, that's not necessarily true, because if everyone's searching Bitcoin bubble, that means that they've likely sold, want to sell, or are about to sell anyway. And when a lot of people are about to sell something, that can also happen in a market top or a market bottom. If there are if there's a high demand to sell, then this could create a powerful downtrend. So if you had just seen this, and if you knew how Google Trends worked, and you knew how to assess market psychology, you could just look here and see a very unhealthy increase in Bitcoin bubble search terms. As you can see, it skyrockets. You could use this to trade against the crowd, because many people were probably buying here, and then as the initial panic set in, right here, as you can see, that's when you probably want to sell. We can also see these other ones here, like August 13th. This one's not as prominent, but not really at all. But it is important. Many people were searching Bitcoin bubble, so what had happened was price had gone up and then just stalled for a long time, probably a wave 4 here. And this stalling might have been a result of many people proclaiming a bubble, and then the market kind of just goes sideways. We can also see it here, as we saw before. September 14th had a skyrocket as well. What happened? Price reversed. And we can also see that happening here as well in September 6th, which was right here. And this is interesting, because if you had seen that a doji candle had formed, you have weak volume going downward, going upward, you have a weak volume, doji candle, and you see a gigantic increase in people proclaiming Bitcoin bubble, that's probably another reversal sign. So right here would have been a great spot to sell. So really, that's going to be it for this video. All that you really need to know is that just look at the past searches for Bitcoin bubble And it's a little choppy here, as you can see, but if you can just go to like, I would say 30 days and beyond, and then if you see a day, if you see that the day that you're trading on has just skyrocketed in Bitcoin bubble searches, then what you can do is look for a spot to act against the crowd. Yeah. And then also, of course, you always want to incorporate volume into your analysis too, if you know how to analyze volume. So yeah, that's going to be it. Google Trends is an awesome resource, and I would highly recommend any trader who wants to up their game in sentiment analysis. There's fundamental analysis, sentiment analysis, and technical analysis. And fundamental analysis, just think like news. Technical analysis, what I do, a lot of charts, and then sentiment analysis, which is analyzing the crowd that is trading the market. And this is a great way to get your foot in the door into trying to do sentiment analysis. So yeah, that's going to be it. If you have any questions about how Google Trends works or any other search terms that you could use, leave them in the comments. Thanks for watching.